is that, I do think that 2022 is one of these key tipping points from disruption to a new period. Now, what we quite often do is that we suspend the truth and create mental constructs. And as I said earlier, I began this book by writing about digital democracies and digital dictatorships. But I soon understood that this particular event had such a big impact that I had to change the direction of the book. Now, I do think that the war changes a lot of things. It obviously, for me as a Finn, it changes a lot of things in Europe, and it changes a lot of things in the world. And I would argue that the pendulum of power is started to swing. And as I said earlier, if the pendulum of power swings between the global West and the global the global East, then we have to understand that it is the global South that decides the direction in which it's going to go. And this is how I finish the chapter in the postscript. Looking back at the beginning of the war, I still can't understand how I did not see it coming. I suppose one part of it is the belief that no one could be as stupid as to attack another state in a world where the cost of conflict would always be higher than the price of cooperation. The other part was an essentially naive belief that interdependence would ultimately be a guarantee for peace. Yes, it had worked in post-World War II Europe, but it ended up not working with an imperialist Russia. I had been involved in mediating peace in Georgia in 2008. I had also been involved in conflict resolution in my capacity as chairman of the board of Martti Ahtisaari's Peace Foundation, CMI. As a scholar of international relations, I had always been fascinated by conflicts, but often on a theoretical level. I simply did not believe that a mass-scale conventional war would be feasible or possible on the borders of Europe. I was blinded by my beliefs. I was wrong. What makes it even more daunting is that I've met many of the people that are behind the war and the lies that justify it. Sergey Lavrov is one of the most seasoned diplomats in the world, but his capacity to distort the truth has made him a laughingstock of the world, literally. My grandparents warned me about Russian aggression. I wanted to believe that they had been blinded by their experience in World War II. Perhaps they were, but they got it right, unfortunately. Thanks again for listening to this episode, and next